I've always lived on the coast my whole life. Being in the ocean, feeling the undulation of the waves and the power of the waves, there's something that makes you feel connected to a larger force.
I think it's a very deep human desire to be close to water. It's meditative.
And it's a place where not only ocean life lives, but it's an opportunity for us to continue living in a way that we're able to enjoy the beauty of the planet, but also appreciate what the planet has to offer and how it's contributing to us living on Earth.
Ever since I was a little girl, I've loved the ocean. I've always felt a spiritual uplifting being near or on the ocean, and I've always wanted to protect it somehow. Helping to bring seawalls to Boston and the PangeaSeed Foundation is really a dream come true.
PangeaSeed Foundation is an international nonprofit organization that utilizes the sea approach, which is science, education, and artivism. And through our Seawalls Artists for Oceans program, we're engaging individuals and communities around the world about pressing ocean environmental issues, from plastics and pollution to climate change, to biodiversity loss and coastal development.
When I discovered PangeaSeed Foundation and what they've been doing around the world, I knew that this was an important project to bring to Boston because East Boston is a community on the front lines. It's an environmental justice community. It's a climate justice community where our neighbors are disproportionately impacted by these global issues. It's our collective everyday decisions that make a difference.
So what's so special about Seawalls Boston is that it tells a story about the need for a diverse, resilient, and equitable harbor as a gateway for a healthy ocean ecosystem through public art. Art, especially projects like this one done in collaboration with the East Boston community, helps drive people in and gets them thinking about their harbor in a new way.
This is not only what we do by providing operational support to artists and organizations to help them get their mission across and make big art, but it also speaks to our personal senses of environmentalism, activism, and conservation. So it's taking everything that we love and everything that we want to protect and putting it together.
For generations, Eastie has been a neighborhood of immigrants, and that's why today it's a place with such a wonderful multicultural heritage, and this is one of the reasons we chose it as a home for our family. But the rapid changes brought about by development and gentrification to this neighborhood are actually paralleled by what's happening to the endangered species that live here. Both people and animals are at risk of losing their habitat due to overdevelopment and due to rising sea levels.
I've lived in Boston for 20 years now, and being familiar with East Boston, I've seen the development change so much.
We really wanted to paint something that reflected the community of East Boston. There's a huge Latin community here, and I feel like when you create something in a community that, that thrives with culture, you should paint something that would return the culture right back to them.
So we had the chance to work with a lot of the artists and inform them on some of the biggest threats and some of the biggest solutions, try to inspire them about thinking about some other species that maybe don't get as much attention, and had the chance to work with them, and they were feeding off our knowledge, we were feeding off their knowledge, and that sort of collaborative interplay I think was really valuable when we think about seawalls, because they're the ones that are inspiring the public. They were inspired by the scientific expertise, and we were inspired by these people that are doing these monumental murals that, honestly, I see these things and I wonder, where do they even start? I'm fascinated by the talent that these people have, and I think they were interested in the fact that we're out there studying these animals on the ocean, and they're bringing that into the streets, so it was a nice, I think, synergy between the groups. So that was really inspiring to me, that our scientists were able to work with the artists and give them some exposure to the work we're doing.
The folks over at the New England Aquarium connected me with John Mandelman, and I got to have a really good hour-long conversation with him about sharks and different topics about ocean conservation. And we eventually settled on highlighting great whites and mako sharks and some of the other species that you can find right here in Boston Harbor.
I don't really see there being a future where science and art are so separated, and so I hope work like this continues to bring that sort of unity or connection.
I decided to paint a large character inside of a plastic bottle or water bottle because that's a huge part of what you actually see is walking around here and everywhere in the world. I've painted like a seahorse with a straw just to highlight some of the things that human beings are polluting water with. And also a massive proportion of what is polluting the water is fishing line from the fishing industry. So the character has a fishing net that she's cutting to sort of be emblematic of trying to restrain ourselves from ruining the ocean with man-made products.
My mural is a North Atlantic right whale, which is an endangered whale off the coast of where we are here in Boston. And it is emanating a mandala, which is a symbol of wholeness, unity, harmony in a lot of cultures and spiritual beliefs. And that mandala has the globe at the center. It's surrounded by ornamentation, including flowers blooming and flames. So there's the hope for a great future blooming, but also the threat of climate change and global warming.
The title of my mural is called Espíritu del Mar, which translates Spirit of the Sea. And what you see is an indigenous girl holding an endangered whale. And I really wanted to create a connection between the community of East Boston, the children that go to this school, and have them become more curious about how they can also be, more empathetic to ocean life.
Artwork, especially on this scale, like in neighborhoods, can really speak to people without them having to feel like they're being educated or preached to or something like that. It's just kind of something that you see and you're free to interpret it whatever way you want.
Art can definitely be used as a tool for change. It can inspire people, it can inform people, it can also uplift and give a new vibe to the area wherever the mural is being painted.
It's accessible to everybody, right? So it's not necessarily just the people that go to museums, people that can afford to get there to pay the admission. It's anybody walking down the street. And it's even people that aren't necessarily interested in art per se. But everybody coming through had something to say. Everybody had a story or just words of encouragement. And I even had different groups of people coming up and talking to each other about sharks while I was working, which is the whole point. So I think it's just a really good example of how public art works.
One of the last days, which it was a little bittersweet because I think we knew that this was going to be the end, but we had a young person leave their sort of gym class and sort of stand behind us and really stare at that wall. And I don't think they ever said anything, but you could just tell that there was a sense of wonder and real deep curiosity.
So we're here now, and it's important to leave our mark because the youth is our future. And this is a perfect example here. We're at the school and so many kids are seeing this artwork and getting inspired daily. So that's our mark that we leave here. We have the opportunity to make the change now.
I did the walk the first day that they were done, right? And it was interesting because it was awesome for me, but also bringing my son and having a conversation about it, just hey, what appeals to you? What do you see? What are the colors, right? I think that's going to be more engaging, especially for elementary, middle school, and even high school students, than having them sit down and see a documentary or read a book about it.
We're going to leave this planet in the hands of people who, one, may not see things that we've seen and, be able to live in a time where we get to see certain creatures and things exist. And I feel that's kind of sad, and I feel like it's really important to have a fighting chance.
It's important to consider always, even though we're land dwellers, that the ocean is crucial to our health, every species' health, the planet's health. So We really have to take care of our oceans.
We can't all just fly to outer space once we're done with this planet, so we have to protect it at all costs.
The murals that are happening as part of this Seawalls activation and the work that PangeaSeed and partners are doing are absolutely crucial to safeguarding our oceans, because they get people not only aware of what's out there and bring the ocean, as PangeaSeed likes to say, into the streets, but they bring it into the streets with joy.
And I do feel it's a generational responsibility to do something to leave the next generation in a more sustainable world. And I think that if we can learn how to work together, work with partnerships, do small things, just build momentum, but we need everybody to do this together.
Like, you're already going to go about your day anyway, so I might as well just do something that could affect positively, and if it doesn't work out, you're already going to go about your day, and if it does, look, you just change the world, or you just change somebody's thought process, you know, so like, why not just do the right thing? That's just how I see it.
My name is Sophie Tuttle.
My name is Felipe Ortiz.
I'm Lauren West.
I'm Market 27.
I'm Tallboy.
I'm Sabrina.
I'm Shepard Ferry.
My name is Anika Jones.
So I'm Taj Francis.
And I paint for a purpose.